we'll talk about notation and terminology. Now, don't forget, I mean, we've been talking about this for a long time now. In maths, learning maths is a bit like, actually learning most subjects, is like learning a new language. There's all these kinds of words and ideas and terms, and we introduce new ones so that we can describe things with detail. Rather than say, you know, the whole idea with degrees is rather than say, turn a little bit that way, we can say, turn 47 degrees in such and such direction, and so on, okay? So this is just to help us be specific. So, first, let's talk about three things. We'll go in this order. Lines, rays, and intervals. Okay, so what's a line? This seems like a simple question, doesn't it? How would you define a line? Yeah, Mark. It's a thing, like this. It's a, yeah? How do I write that? It's a thing like this. Can we, I like that. Can we do anything better verbally? You know? Ooh, a straight angle. Yeah. I like that because it draws on some language we already know, right? I want to go with a little more than that, right? A straight angle, right? Straight angle that particularly goes through 2 points that we pick out. Or you might say through 2 nominated points, right? So if I'm writing it, you should be writing it. That was about talking through the steps, right? Oh, is that what we're doing? No. Okay. So for example, okay, if I talked about a line AB, okay, so A and B are sort of like 2 points, right? Here we go, A and B. Okay. Now the line, the straight angle that goes through them, should be closed. Okay. Will look something like this. Wow, this is so dirty. Seriously. Okay, that goes. So I've got nothing to wipe with. Okay, but here's the important thing, and this is the distinction between these 2 other things we're going to talk about in a second. The line, how far does it go?
As far as you want.
Well, as far as you want, I suppose, is how far you can draw it. But strictly speaking, if it's a line, it actually goes
as far as A and B. Well, like
yeah, we're going to get to that in a second. This line that I want, it actually goes forever. In both directions. Okay? Now that's actually important. That's what makes a line a line. It goes forever in both directions. And that's what we... Year 7. It goes forever in both directions, and that's what the arrows are about. Okay? Now a ray, or rays, exactly the same idea with one little difference. Okay? It still goes through, you know, a couple of different points, but it doesn't go forever in both directions. It only goes forever in one direction. No mentions of boy bands, please. Okay? So, here's what it might look like, okay? Here's a point, okay? And off it goes, and there's an arrow, okay? So you see it starts somewhere. Maybe I'll call that P, okay? And it goes, maybe it goes to another point, Q. It keeps on going forever, but it stops at, like if I were to go back, right? I can't go on forever. I actually stop there. That's a ray. So the line goes forever both directions. The ray goes forever in one direction. What do you think the interval might be?
The other direction.
Yeah.
Like it stops in one place.
This also stops in one place. Rashab's onto something there.
It goes forever in one direction.
Didn't I just wait?
Sorry.
Ali.
It stops and then starts.
Yes, that's exactly right. So here, forever both ways. Here, forever one way. This one doesn't go forever anyway, right? It starts and stops at specific points. So what did I have? I had A, B, P, Q. Let's make this X, Y. Okay? So an interval is kind of like, we use this language, right? Like an interval of time. Means it's limited. It's got a length. Rays and lines, they don't have length because they go forever. You could never measure it, right? Okay, one more little word, which is an intersection.
Little word.
Actually, you're right. It's a long word. Intersection, and then we can start drawing. What is an intersection? We actually have intersections like in roads and stuff, right? What's an intersection? Yeah, Jasmine.
What you just said, I was going to say about how they were in the roads.
Okay, well, what kinds? Because not all roads have intersections, right? What kind of thing is it when roads intersect? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it's when lines or rays or intervals cross. Okay, does that make sense? So, for instance, let's draw this. Let's do this one. C, D, E, F. Okay, so let's just describe these very quickly. C, D, it starts and it stops, so it's interval, right? E, F starts somewhere, but then it goes forever, so it's a ray. Okay, so I can say interval CD and ray EF intersect. What should we call it?
The intersect.
How about I heard T, even though it's not a T junction, but anyway. They intersect at T. Great. Okay. Now, just one last little word of caution, okay? These definitions are important, and they're correct. However, in normal language, when we say, oh, draw me a line, right? Usually we mean this, don't we? Usually lines refer to these guys. Usually, okay? So I just want to warn you that sometimes people will say, like in normal language, they'll speak like this, but we're trying to be more specific. But these things, we actually distinguish between them, okay? So if you say line, what you really mean is something that goes forever.